Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I have basically given up on YouTube, I feel like the last 6 months. So I really want to get into it. I tell myself this every year that it's going to be my New Year's resolution to vlog more, but I really am going to try this year. So I thought we would do a little catch up where I've been the last 6 months, what's new. I just turned 29 yesterday. So I feel like that's a big catch up, and I'm going to celebrate my birthday tonight with friends. So get ready with me while I tell you what's new. I'm currently in my hometown in Kansas City. So I'm celebrating with like all of my high school friends, and we're doing a little staycation at a hotel, and we're getting dinner and drink. So I'm very excited. I had a very low-key 20th birthday yesterday. I worked all day, and I had like 6 or 7 work meetings and work calls. So it was not that exciting of a birthday, but I feel like the older we get, the less pressure you put on your birthday having to be like some amazing, huge, crazy celebration on the day of. And then I'm going out to dinner with my like family tomorrow night. It's 3 of our birthdays, basically all in a row, the 1st, 2nd, and then mine on the 4th. So we're gonna go celebrate at dinner tomorrow night. But last night I just went to dinner with my dad, and it was really nice. I was in bed by 8 p.m., which makes me sound so old. But last we spoke, I think my last vlog was my London and Copenhagen vlog, which was back in June. Since then, I have been home in Kansas City. So I came home for the month of July, really didn't vlog much because I was just home hanging out. I came back for a friend's bachelorette in August. So I had my bachelorette party with her in August. And then the week after the bachelorette party, I flew back out to Paris. And I spent the last 6 months in Paris. And I actually did bring my vlog camera to vlog in Paris, but I forgot my battery charger, and I could not find a battery charger that would ship to me in Paris. And then I kind of just gave up, and I was like, you know what, let me live in the moment. It's really hard for me to balance vlogging on my phone for Instagram and TikTok and vlogging on YouTube. So I was like, let me just take a break and just do Instagram and TikTok. So if you guys ever want more up-to-date live action vlogs, definitely go check out Instagram and TikTok. So I would say I post there quicker. I am gonna make YouTube a priority in 2026. So I'm gonna try to be quicker and better about posting. Anywho, I was in Paris for 6 weeks, and it was just the most amazing, lovely time ever. I almost was like sad that I didn't spend more time in Paris. Like I wish I would have divvied up my time in London between London and Paris more, because I spent 4 months in London and only 6 weeks in Paris. But no matter the case, it was amazing. It's my favorite city in the world. It never disappoints me. Like I will never get tired of going to Paris. It's just the best. I was there for 6 weeks, but I did take 2 trips while I was there. I took one long, like 10-day, maybe not 10-day, 7-day trip to, we started off in Greece. We were only in Greece for a night. It was just the easiest place to fly into. And then we ferried over to Albania. We were there for 3 days, and then we were in Montenegro for 3 days. It was one of the craziest trips I've ever been on, honestly. Like I've never been anywhere like it. It was super fun, just very different. I don't know. It's not technically Europe, so it was just different. But it was a really good mix of like really beautiful mountain scenes and the most gorgeous, stunning beach water ever. So it was a lovely time. I met with my best friend, Mary. Was there for like 7 days, flew back, was in Paris for 2 weekends, and then had a trip to Portugal for a weekend. It was only like a Thursday to Sunday situation, Thursday to Monday actually maybe. And it was my first ever, well not first ever, but it was my first ever big like gifted hotel collaboration for 4 nights. I've had them before. I've done 2 others before, but they were like very quick hotel stays. And this was like international, so it felt very exciting. And it was at an all-inclusive resort in Lagos, Portugal. If you guys know, Lagos, Portugal is one of my favorite places ever. I'm obsessed with the country of Portugal. It's one of my favorite countries ever. If I could live somewhere else in the world, it would either be Paris or Portugal. I love Portugal. Anyways, it was in the Algarve, which is my favorite place ever. This is my 3rd time being back. So I just had the best weekend ever. That was in mid-September. And then after that, I flew back and I was in Paris for 2 weekends. And my last weekend in Paris was Paris Fashion Week. And my friend Lindsay that I met in London came to visit and stayed with me for Paris Fashion Week and also for her birthday. So that was a really fun weekend. It was my last weekend in Paris, and honestly it was just like the perfect way to end the trip. And then I flew, I need to like get ready while I'm talking to you guys. And then I flew to New York, and I stayed in New York for I think only like 4 days. I flew in on a Sunday, left on a Thursday. I was there for my work's global summit meeting, so that was on Tuesday and Wednesday. So I had 1 free day in between, which is Sunday. So I got to meet up with all of my girlfriends that I have not seen in so long from influencing. Jenna, Sammy, Hathel, Steph, we all got dinner and drinks. I met up to shoot like 2 different times, so like that was so much fun because it had almost been a year since the last time I had seen them and since I'd last been in New York. I never want to go that long again from visiting New York. I know I left New York and obviously moved out, but it has such a special place in my heart. I think it's one of the best cities in the world and I need to make it like a quarterly trip, honestly. So that was so much fun. Then I flew back to Kansas City on that Thursday, and that Thursday night I had my best friend's wedding that I was in. So wedding rehearsal and then reception the next day and then wedding that Saturday. So it has been a whirlwind of a few months. Ever since that wedding, I've basically been chilling. Actually, I went to New York. I went back to New York 2 weeks ago for Jenna's wedding, and I vlogged a little bit of that. So I'm gonna include that in a kind of very short vlog clip. So anyways, I flew to New York for her wedding just for the weekend. I think I was there Wednesday to Sunday. I stayed at my friend SJ's apartment, and it was lovely. It was so nice being in New York, but it was just a very, very quick trip. Literally was just basically there for her wedding. Didn't really see anyone. But yeah, so that is really what has been up. It is the first week of December now, December 5th. It's my birthday weekend. Had Thanksgiving, which was kind of uneventful. And I'm just chilling in Kansas City, you guys. Honestly, for the foreseeable future, I have no flights booked, but I am constantly checking Google Flights because if a really cheap flight comes up to Europe, I'm snagging that sucker and going back because I already miss it so much. I've kind of been having an existential crisis in terms of what I want to do. I feel like I spent this last year doing exactly what I wanted to do, which was to get a remote job and travel the world. And I traveled the world for 6 months, but part of me doesn't feel like I want it to be over. Like I want to just keep traveling as much as possible. And I've done polls before on my TikTok and Instagram because I would love to know what you guys think of like, do I continue to travel or do I like go settle down somewhere, but still at the same time like take advantage of having the remote job and like I can travel still on the side. Obviously the thing about being remote and being able to travel around for 6 months is that I don't have rent to pay somewhere. So like that's the con of settling down somewhere, I guess, and having to pay rent. Then obviously it's not going to be as feasible to just travel the world whenever I want to and pay my rent at the same time as paying for places to stay. And there's just so many places left that I want to see, and I feel like I grew so much from solo traveling and I had so much fun. But on the other hand, it's lonely. You're by yourself. I did meet some friends, but I didn't like, I feel like it's hard to create long-lasting relationships and friendships and dating when you're traveling the world because you're by yourself and you're bopping around from place to place to place. So part of me like kind of yearns for like having a home base and a community and like a routine and being able to meet new friends and date and like take life a little bit more seriously, I guess. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what, I am turning 29, and although some people might think that that sounds old, I feel like it's still so young, or at least I'm trying to tell myself that it's still so young and that I should just keep traveling, because why would I not when I know I'm gonna end up meeting someone and having kids and a family, and I'm never gonna have this opportunity again to be this alone and have no responsibilities and like, you know, I would never be able to do this again, which maybe is dramatic. Like if I get married and, you know, maybe my husband wants to travel a lot with me and that'll be different, but that's just what kind of how I'm feeling. So I haven't overly decided. I do think I want to go out to LA for a couple of weeks and stay in an Airbnb there, and just get a vibe for if I like it or not, because that's one of the places that I'm considering moving to. My good friend Steph just moved there, so that's kind of what I'm thinking for 2026 for the future. I have recently been on 2 first dates in the last month, which is crazy for me that I went that back to back because I'd only been on 2 dates this whole year before that, first dates. So I went on 2 first dates recently. The first one was fun, it was okay, but like didn't really vibe or like see anything totally going forward there, which I kind of was like surprised about because I had been talking to him for like a month before we got a date, before we went on the date, and I thought I was like really gonna vibe and like him, but turns out not so much in person. But I did just go on a first date 2 weeks ago, and I think it went okay. I am the kind of person that like struggles between feeling like I should know exactly on the first date if I like them right away, like that there was a spark and I should be immediately into them, versus feeling like I need to give it a second and third date, because first dates are just awkward and I feel like it's so hard to have a spark right away on a first date. I think it's easier when you're like out meeting people in person at the bar. I don't know, it just feels more organic, and I think it's easier to feel like catch feelings. I don't know. That's really the only fun dating updates I have. I'm still at the same job. I've been here a little bit over a year. It's been a whirlwind working here, honestly. I've had like 3 different bosses over the last year, so it's been kind of crazy, but I do think I'm liking it. Like I can't complain since it's fully remote. I like do not miss going into an office at all, which I know is crazy because I feel like some people love going to the office, which totally respect that. I do think you can feel more productive, but I just love having the flexibility of being remote personally. Unfortunately, I think that's all of the updates I have for you guys. My life is not super exciting at the moment. I like don't, to be honest, I hate being home and I hate the holidays. That's still real life for you, but I'm going to chug my Celsius, film a couple videos, and then head over to my birthday dinner. I'm so excited. So I love you guys so much. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll be back soon.